Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Tulley, President and Executive Writing Coach at Defend, Publish, and Lead. And welcome to episode 157, 1 January 2024 Writing Goal. This episode will also be short. I know it's the end of the year / beginning of the next year, and many of us are traveling or taking some time off. So this is a very short episode just to give you something that I've been thinking about for 2024. And I think one of the things that we try to do with New Year's resolutions that are related to writing or to our scholarship is to think through them in two parts. So one time of year we tend to do this is at the beginning of the academic year. So we usually, use that time. That's kind of our new year to get started and kick off all these great, scholarly projects. There's always a great, bit of energy at the start of the academic year and so on. A second time it might happen, though, would be in January when you might be thinking through all your other New Year's resolutions if you bother to make them. I am one of those people that I will make a couple and I will promptly forget what they even were within a week of January unfolding. So I decided a few years ago to make this very simple for me in terms of scholarship. And so what I try to do is just think through 1 January 2024 / the full year of 2024 writing goal that I'm looking to achieve. So sometimes I'll think through a goal for each month. That's something that I'm going to work with a little bit, and I'll have later episodes about that. But for right now, one of the things that I've decided that I really want to do for next year, just as a general writing goal and a general practice about writing, is this is just one personally for me, is to get a little bit more organized. Organization is always a January 2024 thing, but here's what I mean by that. I do a lot with project management. I feel like I have really good systems from moving an article or a project from an idea to a published piece, how to publicize it through social media channels, how to make sure that research is circulating, how to make sure I'm using pieces of old projects and conference slides. I mentioned for some of you in the last episode, if you listen to it, that I usually am able to get an article out of conference slides. If you're interested in doing with us, we have a self-guided series that's really easy to do. It's just 5 short videos that you can follow, and you end up with an article draft after you do some looking at conference slides or a poster or a short paper. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes. But one of the things I'm thinking of when I'm thinking about organization is I want to make sure that I'm doing something a little bit better when I'm closing out of a writing session. So this is how it happens for me generally. Let's say I'm in a writing session, I'm plugging along, I have an hour and a half. I will look up and say, oh, I have 15 minutes left. Well, what I'll tend to do is kind of put on the gas and keep writing up until the last possible second. So I'm like throwing a hot laptop into my bag and, grabbing the plug and just carrying it in my hands as I get out of the library or wherever I am. But I've noticed that leaves a couple of problems. One, this sounds really bad for somebody that's been in academia forever, but sometimes I don't save the draft that's still up on my screen. So I end up losing that last 15 minutes I hustled to get. Another thing that sometimes happens is I'll have, say, a screenshot or some half-written notes or some incomplete work just kind of sitting there on my laptop on the screen. I might have a tab open of something I was looking up and ran out of time. So my goal just generally for writing for the whole next year is to make sure that I allow at the end of every single writing session, which will be tough for me because I like to maximize every minute I can, but I am going to make sure that I have 8 minutes to close out every project, every writing session. And I don't mean close the tab or close the document, because let's say I'm going to work on it maybe a little bit later again that day. But all I mean is when I stop writing at a time, anything that's still like halfway out there, halfway in my brain, like a tab I'm looking up, an article I've opened the PDF for, but I can't decide if I'm going to use or not, I'm going to do something with those things in that last 8 minutes. I was trying to push for 10, but I know me, and I know 10 minutes will seem too long for me. I will think, oh, I'm wasting 10 minutes at the end of my session. So one of the things I encourage you to do is maybe a fun New Year's resolution, or even just a January one, is to think about what's something with writing that you would really like to improve. It does not have to be something concrete like me being very poor at closing out my projects. It could be something like maybe you always struggle with decision making, or you don't trust yourself. So you have two ways you could go on a chapter for a book, and you picked one, but now you're second guessing yourself. So it might be time to think about, well, what can I do to make myself reasonably sure I've made the right decision? This is something clients have been asking for us for a long time, is how to help with academic decision making. So we are going to do a series on it this upcoming year, just to give you some things and some, let's call them heuristics, to think through, how can I make decisions about what's the best choice here? What do I do if I have three options? What if I do if I'm stuck in this one section of my article and I can't decide what to do when I discover, say, my methodology is all wrong? All those kinds of things that are very difficult to articulate. You're not going to find them in a writing guide. We're going to look at some of those things this year. So if you've got a problem that you know is going to be something that you're going to try to tackle in 2024, if you want to email me, I will make you a podcast episode about how to solve that problem. I don't know that I will totally solve it for you, but I will certainly do my best to look for resources and kind of look at some ways to kind of think through how to do it. But I know I have a long list of things that our clients come to, but I'd really love to round that out to give us some podcast topics for 2024. So if you want to suggest something to me that you know would make a good topic that is a challenge you're struggling with, if you want to email me, you can email me at Christine@defendpublishlead.com or Christine@defendandpublish.com, because I know some of you have emailed me regularly. So if you want to use that address, both of them get to me. And happy writing.